Today, we are going to talk about comparing decimals. To start, let's look at number 1. We have two different numbers here. They look pretty similar. So how do we compare them? Well, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take these numbers and stack them on top of each other, making sure to line up our decimal. See how our decimals are in line? That means all of our place values are in line. The ones places are in line, the tenths places, the hundredth places are in line. So we can now accurately compare our numbers. I start all the way to the left. Here I have 4 and 4. Those are the same. Neither is greater, so we continue to the right. 8 and 8 are also the same. Now I have 6 and 7. 7 is larger than 6. And since everything else up until that 7 is the same, that means that this number here is the greatest. It is greater. 4 and 87 hundredths is greater than 4 and 86 hundredths. This is your larger number. So if you start all the way to the left and compare until you get one number that is greater than the other, you will figure out which decimal or which number is the greatest. Let's try this one. We have 6 and 2 tenths and 0 and 62 hundredths. This shows me again that I must make sure to line up my decimal. The digits that I am using are the same in each number, but where they're placed in the number differs, meaning they have different values. So let's start all the way to the left. 6, 0. Well, 6 is greater than 0, meaning that this number is the larger of the two. I do not need to continue on because the biggest place has a difference that tells me which is the greater number. We've got one more example here. We've got 1 and 7 tenths and 1 and 6,387 ten-thousandths. Now, this looks a lot larger because there are a lot more digits. But again, if I start as far to the left as I can, I've got my decimals lined up. 1 and 1 are the same. 7 is greater than 6. Therefore, 1 and 7 tenths is in fact the greater number. We can also put in these zeros here and think about it like that. This 7,000 is in fact larger than 6,387.